Hi, I'm Godwin, and in the past 6 months, I've been helping small businesses bid on federal contracts using artificial intelligence tools to make the process simpler. And today, we're going to be talking about how to read a government contract like a pro. We're going to simplify the process, and I'm going to show you how you can get exactly what you need. Just in case you're wondering, how does Carlos end up winning two contracts in the first 34 days of becoming acquainted with these systems on how to put together proposals with AI? Or Emmanuel, who actually thought that proposal writing was something that was out of his reach. And after becoming acquainted with this system, he was able to put together his first proposal with confidence. Or Zinni, who was actually able to snag her first six-figure contract just 3 months after getting acquainted with some of these systems. So, guys, if you want to find out how they're doing this, I recommend that you join the waitlist for our first AI Gov Con challenge. Guys, we actually wanted 50 people, but so far 65 people have applied on the waiting list. Now, that doesn't mean anything until the dates are announced and you have secured your spot. There's a link in the description. Join the waiting list. But guys, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Government solicitations are complicated, and the complication of the language, the complication of the requirements causes a lot of small business owners to pull back and to say, hey, maybe this is not the business for me. I don't know if you've been there before. Perhaps you started reading a solicitation and you started to think to yourself, maybe there are other business opportunities that I can pursue because this is too hard for me to go on with. Let me know if you've gone through something like that. I've talked to a lot of people who have. But also, we have to talk about the fact that understanding the federal acquisition regulations can be challenging. It's very broad. And, there's a mental model. It's called the map is not the territory. The map is not the territory is simply saying that a map is only a reduction of the territory that it is symbolizing. A map is only the reduction of a more complex thing. And when it comes to this far issue, a lot of people have said middlemaning is illegal. A lot of people have said, well, in order for you to bid on a federal contract, you need to have funding and there's going to need to be bonding. And what I'll say to you is that the map is not the territory. That yes, these regulations do exist. Yes, these regulations are correct, but we don't use one regulation as though it applies to all contracts. Now, there are a few that do, but a lot of the ones that people worry about may not even apply to all contracts. The map is not the territory. Saying that anybody who says, hey, middleman is illegal, yes, but you could say there's a way you could go about middlemaning that's illegal, but the map is not the territory. There's also a way you can go about middlemaning that is legal. So we're not going to do this one thing. We're not going to conflate one FAR regulation and make it seem like it applies to every. But I can understand why that happens because it's challenging to understand these regulations. Writing proposals can be really intimidating. I've spoken to people who have established businesses and they have the manpower and the resources to handle these contracts. But what ends up happening is they don't know how to put together the documents that says we are the right ones for the job. This is why we find these established business owners paying up to $30,000 to get a proposal written. And I understand why. Writing proposals can be intimidating, and especially when you have a full time job, you have kids. The time that it will take you to write this proposal may take away from your family time, and most people do not want that. But what if I told you this? To effectively tackle the challenge of understanding lengthy solicitations, mastering the FAR, and crafting compelling government contract proposals, leveraging AI tools will be essential. By adopting an AI driven method, businesses can ensure a repeatable and straightforward execution process, transforming complex tasks into manageable actions. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you some of these systems that can be repeated in order for you to understand the government solicitation. Let's go. All right, welcome to the other side, guys. Very quickly, remember to fill in the link in the description below if you are interested in being part of the 3-day challenge that is going to give you some of the tools that you're going to need to begin to start bidding on federal contracts. This is a sneak peek. Nothing has actually been uploaded, but by the end of this week, everything is going to be ready for you. Join the waiting list, guys. This is going to be something different, especially if you're looking to challenge yourself. But what we have in front of us today is a janitorial services Cape Cod Canal, Buzzards Bay, and yeah, this is interesting. We have three attachments, and we have what's the due date on this? I see it's due on the 2nd of December. Okay, so I'm going to get out this beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide. This is one of the ways that you can begin to break down a solicitation in a manner that is easy to execute and repeatable. And this is something you can actually give to a staff member and say, hey, create a report on these contracts for me using this system. Now, I'm going to also open my handyman over here, ChatGPT. And with ChatGPT open, I'm going to download these three attachments. Once the three attachments are downloaded, we're going to head over to ChatGPT and we're going to attach all three attachments to the chat box in ChatGPT. Guys, remember, ChatGPT has this new feature called ChatGPT Search. So if I click on 4.0, I can literally click on this icon here for search. This is going to be useful later in the video when I show you how you can begin to find a couple of subcontractors. But again, because I switched to 4.0, the attachments were removed, so I just added them back in. But we're going to head back into the beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide, and we're going to start from step one. Now, the purpose of the prompt in step one is to capture the basic details and overarching goal of the solicitation. That's the first thing you want to do. Let's get a high level first to even see, like, is this something I would like to pursue? And then the prompt itself is in yellow. It's provide the title, agency, and summary of the solicitation. So copy. Great. I'm going to attach this to, I'm going to regenerate. Okay, so it's going to provide the title, the agency, and the summary of the solicitation. I can't search the web now. However, I can analyze the uploaded documents to provide the title, agency. Okay, so it thinks that it has to search the web, but no, that's not the case. So when you're not using the search, maybe you would want to turn it off, but it still went ahead to give us the details we're looking for. So the title is Janitorial Services for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Cape Cod Canal Field Office, and the agency is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Okay, so the solicitation requests janitorial services for cleaning three buildings at the Cape Cod Canal Field Office in Buzzard Bay. The contractor will provide all labor, materials, and equipment necessary for cleaning tasks performed 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Key services include general cleaning, sanitizing restrooms and kitchens, emptying trash, and recycling. The annual deep carpet cleaning. The contract include a base year starting December 2024 and two option 1 year extensions. Safety and operation compliance with the USACE and OSHA standards are mandatory. Site visits are scheduled for late November 2024 to facilitate bidder understanding. Okay, so the proposal is due on the 2nd of December. Fantastic. We're going to move on to understand this a bit more. So the next prompt, the purpose is to outline both the qualifications required to bid and the expected outcomes or deliverables of the project. And the prompt says, what are the eligibility requirements, the key deliverables, and objectives of this contract? So let's go. We're going to copy and paste. See, ChatGPT keeps trying to search the web. Again, I'm going to just turn this off. So, eligibility requirements. The contract is designated as a small business set aside under the NAICS code 561720 with a size standard of 22 million. So any business, let's say, okay, there are two scenarios here. You own the janitorial business. Let's say you own a really big one and you just made $23 million last year. You do not qualify for this contract. But anything below $22 million, the size standard here is based on revenue and not company headcount. Sometimes you're going to see that it's based on company headcount. But of course, this is one of those SAM register, or this is one of those requirements that is mandatory for every contract. You need to be registered to SAM. Another one is that if you're a small business owner, if you're a small business set aside, you're not going to bid on a women-owned business set aside. So these are some of the basic things that it's obvious to anybody who's starting. Certification: the contractor must provide employees certified in first aid and CPR for shifts with multiple workers. Additionally, additional certifications include safety and hazard analysis plan and must comply with the USACE standards. So this is one thing, it's clearly outlined and is something you're going to want to look out for. Experience: contractors must meet safety and health requirements, including employing a qualified level 3 site safety and health officer, SSHO. So, what are the key deliverables? Regular cleaning, annual carpet cleaning, safety compliance, waste management, reporting, and documentation. As you can see, everything is now outlined for you. We haven't had to go through any stress. If you have the ability to copy and paste and read, then you can break down a government solicitation to your understanding. Let's say I was reading through this contract, and let's say I was reading this and it says ensure all specified areas in the Cape Cod Canal Field Office compound are clean, sanitary, and presentable. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I want to see. Okay, comply with USACE Safety and Occupational Health Manual. Let's say I was really confused about this and I said, hey, explain this to me in simple language. ChatGPT is now going to explain that part to you in simple language. It says, in simple terms, this means the contractor must follow specific safety rules and regulations set by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and other government safety organizations like OSHA. These rules are there to ensure the work is done safely, protecting workers, government employees, and public from accidents or injuries. Following these guidelines is mandatory for doing the job properly and keeping everyone safe. So, guys, you can see this is how you want to break down the solicitation. Yes, I'm going to give you a foundation of prompt that you can begin to use, but you also want to have the ability to create your own prompts, query ChatGPT on things that you don't understand, and not just go with the prompts I give you. The prompts I give you will be the foundation. Once you get the systems that I've given you down, you're going to begin to create your own. But guys, register for the challenge. I'm going to be sending out the dates and the link for you to secure your spot. We are already over capacity, but until we start confirming people's spots, that's when your spot is going to be confirmed. But guys, so far, this is how to break down solicitations like a pro. See you at the challenge.